it's important to have life insurance for life as a whole.
Is it going to be a business kind of tourism in orbit, or is it more a kind of plan B if things on Earth do not develop as well?
It's not exactly a plan B. It's more that I think there's two aspects to this. One is that we want to have a future that is inspiring and exciting. And what are the things that you find inspiring and exciting about the future? And I think a future where we are a spacefaring civilization and out there among the stars, I think that's, every kid gets excited about that. You don't even need to teach them. They just get it. It's like instinctive. And so it's very important for us to have reasons to be excited about life. Like when you wake up in the morning, it can't just be about problems. It's okay. I know everyone in this room deals with a lot of tough problems, but it's got to be more than that. So, I think a future where you can say, hey, even if it's not you, there's going to be people out there. We can have a base on the moon. We're going to have a city on Mars. Maybe go further, the moons of Jupiter and everything. I think that's a very exciting future, and I think most people do.
And you seriously want to be buried on Mars?
Just not on impact. Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna listen, we're all gonna die someday. So if you're gonna die someday, I'm like, okay, do you want to be buried on Mars or Earth? I'm like, Mars sounds cool. Born on Earth, die on Mars. That's if you've got the choice.
2 years ago, I had a conversation with Jack Ma, and we spoke about Jeff Bezos' plans with regard to orbit. And he said, well, let's Jeff Bezos take care for the orbit, I take care for the Earth. You seem to take care for both?
Yeah, basically Tesla is about trying to make sure things are good for the future on Earth. And then SpaceX is about good future beyond Earth, basically. And so obviously we have to have sustainable energy, both consumption and production of energy. So like Tesla does solar panels and batteries. I think that's one of the key ways to have sustainable energy generation. And also the batteries are useful for wind power. So, and then you need to consume it you consume the electricity, so electric vehicles. I think I look at these things like say, okay, if you look back from the future and say, what's the fundamental good of Tesla? I would say it's probably should be assessed as by how many years did Tesla accelerate the advent of sustainable energy? That's I would measure the goodness of Tesla in that way. And then for SpaceX, it's like, okay, to what degree did we improve the probability of humanity being a spacefaring civilization?
I remember very well the year 2014 when we were hosting the Gold Steering Wheel here at Axel Springer, and you got the award for Lifetime Achievement. And I was sitting in the first row with the then very successful and famous CEO of a very big German car company, and I asked him while you were on stage, isn't this guy dangerous for you? I mean, this looks really serious. He said, oh no, don't worry. First of all, the whole idea of electric driving, it's never going to be a mass market.
Sure.
Second, these guys in Silicon Valley, they have no clue about engineering, about building really beautiful and great cars, so we don't have to worry. By then, Tesla's market cap was 23 billion. Today it's 536 billion US dollars. The market cap of VW then was 86, and today it's 77. And you are with Tesla 2.5 times bigger than BMW, VW, and Daimler.
I even said the stock is too high. I mean, what am I supposed to do?
Have you ever considered to buy?
The stock is too high a long time, like when it was like at $800 pre-split. And they don't listen to me, but I tell you, and the SEC complained again. I mean,
Is it a serious option to buy one of the incumbents, one of the big car companies for you?
Well, I think we're definitely not going to launch a hostile takeover. So I suppose if there was
But a friendly one.
If somebody said, hey, we think it would be a good idea to merge with Tesla, we'd certainly have that conversation. But we don't want to be a hostile takeover sort of situation.
Did you feel a lot of complacency these days that the incumbents then let you feel that you are, the kind of hopeless disruptor, but they know how to do it, or were they very polite and nice with you?
Do you mean back then or
back then?
Oh no.
Today everybody's
super nice. I would not say they were super. No, yeah, they were difficult to characterize. Their response as super nice. They used a lot of adjectives. I don't think any of them were positive. So.
Did it?
Yeah, we really tried hard to convince a lot of companies. Honestly, I was in so many panels, but generally the sentiment that was expressed that you mentioned earlier, that was pretty much universal. Especially back in, say, 2008 or 2007, like when we first unveiled the Roadster in 2007. It was just basically. They just said, well, you're basically a bunch of fools. Generally they sort of say like, well, starting a car company is crazy. You're going to lose all your money. I was like, I think I probably will lose all my money. I agree. It wasn't like I thought it would be successful. I thought we had maybe a 10% chance of success. So then people would say, it's going to fail and you're going to lose everything. I was like, yeah, probably true. Yeah. So what else is new?
A couple of years ago, we saw each other in America, and a guy asks you on a panel when autonomous driving will be approved, and you said, I do not care so much when it's going to be approved. I care more when human beings in cars will be forbidden. And then the guy said, well, that's really unrealistic. It's never going to happen in cars. People want to do something actively. And then you said, well, 100 years ago, nobody could imagine elevator without a lift boy. Today, nobody could imagine a lift with a lift boy.
Yeah.
So when is autonomous driving really going to happen, and when are you able to do it, and when is it going to be approved?
Okay, just between us.
Yeah, that's a very discreet circle here. Yeah.
So, first of all, I'm not against people driving, to be clear. So I think people will drive cars basically as far into the future as I can imagine. It's just that it's going to be increasingly unusual to drive your own car. And while it's fun to drive, a well-handling car on a winding road in beautiful terrain, of course that's fun. But it's not fun to drive a car in terrible gridlock traffic. Like, going through extreme traffic, that's no fun driving a car. So I think people are unlikely to, most of the time, want to commute or with their and drive themselves. People are typically spending hour and a half a day, maybe 2 hours on average driving. Especially, say, like California or something like that, it's very common. And some people will actually commute like 3 hours a day. Sometimes it's pretty crazy. So I think if you say fast forward to like 10 years from now, I think 10 years from now, almost all cars will have full autonomy capability. All new cars produced. So there's about 2 billion cars and trucks in the existing fleet, and the new vehicle production is about 5% of the fleet size, so about 100 million. So even to the point at which all cars are autonomous, it'll still take 20 years to replace all the cars, assuming that the number of cars and trucks in the fleet stays constant. But if I say 10 years from now, I would say vast majority of cars electric, like maybe 70-80% or more, and almost all cars autonomous. Electric autonomy is absolutely the future, no question. It's just a question of when. But then, like I said, sometimes people think that means the global fleet gets replaced instantly. It's like, nope, you have to go 20 years beyond that point before, 20 years from the point at which new cars are electric, then the fleet will be replaced. This is just an important, it's not like, sometimes people are